Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Sean, your quiz master, and I have 100 questions, general knowledge to test your brain. Are you ready? Let's begin. Who is considered the father of social networking? Tom Anderson, Larry Page, or Andrew Weinreich? The father of social networking is Andrew Weinreich. Which company once made ketchup-flavored ice cream? Baskin-Robbins, Ben & Jerry's, or Haagen-Dazs? Ketchup-flavored ice cream. Baskin-Robbins. Who is proprietor of the 538 website? CBS News, ABC News, or CNN News? Who owns 538? That is owned by ABC News. Which of these movies inspired David Chase's popular HBO series, The Sopranos? Goodfellas, Scarface, or The Godfather? Sopranos was influenced by The Goodfellas. What does it mean to refer to the American advertising industry as Madison Avenue? Metaphor, metonymy, or similang? That is a metonymy. Which artist has a famous studio known as The Factory? Andrew Warhol, Jackson Pollock, or Salvador Dali? The Factory was owned by Andy Warhol. True or false? There is a subgenre of Western films produced in Europe named spaghetti Western. Is that true, or is that false? That is true. Which war is called the Forgotten War? The Korean War, World War I, or the Vietnam War? Although you can't forget any of them, it pertains to the Korean War. What is the number of animals in the Chinese zodiac? Are there 10 animals? Are there 14 animals? Or are there 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac? There are 12 animals. What do people with philophobia fear? Public speaking, love, or sleeping? If you have philophobia, you have a fear of love. Which country's Prime Minister's office is located at 10 Downing Street? The UK, the Prime Minister of France, or the PM of Canada? The Prime Minister of the UK lives at 10 Downing Street. What was the first known film to successfully use the kinemacolor process? A Trip to the Moon, A Visit to the Seaside, or The Great Train Robbery? Kinemacolor, A Visit to the Seaside. Which of the following examples doesn't relate to the Mandela effect? Darth Vader's phrase, the Berenstain Bears, or JFK's death? JFK's death. Not a multiple choice. What is the USSR full name? The USSR. The full name is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. What was Rudolph Valentino nicknamed? The Great Gatsby, the Duke of Deception, or the Latin Lover? Rudolph Valentino was the Latin Lover. What is the typical minimum GPA requirement in political science courses for Pi Sigma Alpha membership? 3.0, 3.5, or 2.5? That would be 3.0. Which cosmologist was the author of A Brief History of Time? Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Stephen Hawking? Who wrote A Brief History of Time? Stephen Hawking wrote A Brief History of Time. True or false? The quote, "We leave as we came, and God willing we shall return, with peace and hope for all mankind," belongs to the movie Star Trek. True or false? That's false. The last NASA mission to the moon. Who is the only Soviet leader who was born during the USSR? Vladimir Lenin, Mikhail Gorbachev, or Nikita Khrushchev? Which of those leaders actually was born there? Mikhail Gorbachev was born in the USSR. Who sang As Long as You Love Me? The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, or New Kids on the Block? That was sung by the Backstreet Boys. Which country has a political party called the Five Star Movement? France, Italy, or Germany? That's a political party in Italy. In Greek mythology, which goddess was Nemesis? Of youth, of marriage, or revenge? Nemesis was the goddess of revenge. Not a multiple choice. What is the meaning of the acronym NIMBY in relation to local politics and anti-development tendencies? NIMBY. Not in my backyard, but in someone else's. What is the theme song of the sitcom Full House? Family Ties, Everywhere You Look, or Friends Forever? Everywhere You Look. Which of these TV series ended in 2001? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, The West Wing, or That 70s Show? In 2001, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood ended. What is DOS in computer science? Dual Operational Server, Denial of Service, or Disk Operating System? The DOS. The Disk Operating System. I remember those. At how many seconds to midnight is the doomsday clock now as of 2023? 93 seconds, 90 seconds, or 91 seconds? The doomsday clock is set at 90 seconds. True or false? A fratricide is the act of killing a brother, or in a military context, death by friendly fire. Is that true or is that false? That happens to be true. What is a second stage of Clement Juglar and later Joseph Schumpeter's economic cycle? Crisis, recession, or expansion? That's the cycle of crisis. Which of these countries doesn't use the rupee currency? Pakistan, Indonesia, or Sri Lanka? Who does not use the rupee? Indonesia does not use the rupee. What is a term for a group of owls? A parliament, a kennel, or a clouder? Owls form groups in a parliament. They get things done. Fill in the blank. If I blank you, I wouldn't miss this chance. Was, were, or had been? Were, if I were you. That's proper. Which of these video games is from the 1980s? Doom, Super Mario 64, or Super Mario Bros. 3? Which one's from the 1980s? That would be Super Mario Bros. 3. What animal is the character Curious George? Is he a monkey, Is he a cat or is he a parrot? Curious George is a monkey. What is the lower house of Canada's national government called? The House of Commons, the Senate, or the National Assembly? The lower house of the national government is called the House of Commons. Which of the following is a studio album by U2? Disintegration, The Joshua Tree, or The Queen is Dead? Well, of course, that's The Joshua Tree. Not a multiple choice. How to complete this line from a traditional old folk song from Scotland and America? Black is the color of... Black is the color of my true love's hair. How long did Melbourne have the title of Australia's capital? For 26 years, for 23 years, or was it for 28 years? Melbourne was the capital for 26 years. What is the term for people behaving differently when they know they're being watched? Scopaesthesia, the psychic staring effect, or the Hawthorne effect? That would be called the Hawthorne effect. I'm being watched. What do we call the transfer of an individual for criminal punishment from a requested jurisdiction to another one? Is that a deportation? Is that an extradition? Or is that a rendition? That is an extradition. What was the name of the fictional wizarding school created by J.K. Rowling? Mystic Maze University, Merlin's Academy for Magical Arts, or Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry? Well, that would be Hogwarts, of course. To whom does this quote belong? You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Is that Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or Martin Luther King Jr.? That is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. True or false? The World Bank was formed in the 1940s. Is that true or is that false? World Bank formed in the 1940s is true. That's true. In what decade did the World Wide Web, the WWW, get its start? The 1970s, the 1980s, or the 1990s? I feel like it's a trick question. It got started in the 1980s. What is the average horse's lifespan? 35 to 40 years, 30 to 35 years, or 25 to 30 years? How long does a horse live? 25 to 30 years. What ancient civilization created the Antikythera mechanism? Ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, or ancient Mesopotamia? The Antikythera mechanism comes from ancient Greece. Not a multiple choice. How many mistakes can you find in "Neither one of us are going to win"? They already reached the 12th person. 3 is going, they have already, and 12th. What name does the upper arm bone go by? The radius, the humerus, or the femur? Upper arm bone is the humerus. Who holds the record for the most consecutive days spent in space? Valery Polyakov, Scott Kelly, or German Titov? Who has spent the most consecutive days in space? Valery Polyakov. Which of the Nobel Prizes is presented in Oslo, Norway? Medicine, economics, or peace? That would be the Peace Prize. Who is the author of The Da Vinci Code? George Orwell, Dan Brown, or Harper Lee? The Da Vinci Code was written by Dan Brown. Which idiom is used to express experiencing an extreme state of bliss? In a huff, perfect 10, or on cloud 9? If you're in an extreme state of bliss, you are on cloud 9. Where do we find the Atomium statue? France, Belgium, or Austria? The Atomium statue, that would be located in Belgium. How many countries in the world use the title Sultan for the nation's head of state? 3, 2, or 1? There are 3 countries in the world that have the title of Sultan. Who wrote music for the Bangles, Sinead O'Connor, and Stevie Nicks? Jules Shear, Prince, or Leonard Cohen? That would be Prince. Which of these serial killers was a necrophile? Dennis Rader, David Berkowitz, or Edmund Kemper? A necrophile. Edmund Kemper was a necrophile. True or false? Lamborghini started out making construction equipment. Is that true or is that false? Lamborghini. That's false. They made farm equipment. Oh, Lamborghini Combine. Which of the following is a Russian version of Bigfoot? Almasty, Yeti, or Sasquatch? The Russian version of Bigfoot is Almasty. How many elements does the Chinese zodiac use? 4, 5, or 6 elements? They use 5 elements. In the periodic table, which element has the atomic number 79? Platinum, silver, or gold? Gold has the atomic number of 79. Who is the author of the treatise titled Democracy in America? Alexis de Tocqueville, James Madison, or Marcel Proust? That was written by Alexis de Tocqueville. What is the longest interval between the births of 2 twins? 84 days apart, 87 days apart, or 90 days apart? Neither of them sound good. 90 days apart is the longest interval. In 2009, which American film director and screenwriter released Avatar? Quentin Tarantino, James Cameron, or Steven Spielberg? Avatar, written and directed by James Cameron. Not a multiple choice. Do you know the answer to the riddle, the more you take, the more you leave behind? What am I? Footsteps. Of the following, which is untrue with relation to salamanders? An animal, a plumber tool, or a kitchen tool? What is untrue? A plumber's tool. Which Whitney Houston song has the lyrics, "Bittersweet memories, that's all I am taking with me. For the love of you, try it on my own, or I will always love you"? That's from the song I Will Always Love You. What role did Will Smith play in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Will Smith, Philip Banks, or Carlton Banks? Will Smith played the role of Will Smith. True or false? The longest standing unbroken U.S. treaty was signed with the UK. Is that true or false? That is false. The treaty is with Morocco. Who won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2003? Adrian Brody, Johnny Depp, or Tom Hanks? The Academy Award for Best Actor in 2003 goes to Adrian Brody. How many members does the Canadian Supreme Court have? 11 members, 9 members, or 8 members? The Canadian Supreme Court has 9 members. Which of the following animals can edit their own DNA or RNA? The honeybee, the octopus, or the sloth? They can do that? The octopus. What is incumbent? Is that an adjective? Is that a noun? Or is it both? Can it be both? The word incumbent can be both a noun and an adjective. How many Academy Awards did the movie American Beauty win? 3, 5, or 4 Academy Awards? American Beauty won 5 Academy Awards. In honor of whom did Auguste Escoffier invent the desert peach Melba? Nellie Melba, Melba Orleans, or Agnes Melba? Nellie Melba. Where can you find the ruins of Sparta? In Spain, in Italy, or in Greece? You'll find the ruins of Sparta in Greece. What causes the seasons? The ocean's tide, the tilt of Earth's axis, or orbiting the sun? The seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth's axis. Which army was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo? The French army, the British army, or the Persian army? At the Battle of Waterloo, the French were defeated. True or false? The salamander can regenerate its body parts. Is that true, or is that false? Salamander regenerating its own body parts. Of course, that's true. They can. What river runs through London? The Danube, the Thames, or the Rhine? Running through London, you will find the Thames River. Which of these colors was named after a 1859 battle in the Second Italian War of Independence? Teal, burgundy, or magenta? Magenta. Which planet has the shortest day in our solar system? Jupiter, Venus, or Saturn? That would be Jupiter. How many chicken fingers did Joey Chestnut eat in 5 minutes in 2022? 38, 44, or 46 chicken fingers? 44 chicken fingers. Ooh. Which of the following is an actual movie name? 7 Bandits, The Magnificent 8, or 12 Angry Men? Actual movie name, 12 Angry Men. What popular sitcom set in a Boston bar aired from 1982 to 1993 and starred Ted Danson? Cheers, Friends, or Frasier? That was Cheers. Which of these songs' poems was written to protest racism and the lynching of African Americans? Fight the Power, Strange Fruit, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Strange fruit. Which of the following is not a type of voting system? Ranked choice voting, instant runoff voting, single transferable vote, or first past the post? That is first past the post. Not a multiple choice. What do the letters in M&M's stand for? M&M's stands for Mars and Murray. Which animal has a donut-shaped brain? The giant squid, the sea star, or the sea cucumber? The giant squid has a donut-shaped brain. What is mercantilism? A social philosophy, a style of governing, or an economic trade system? Mercantilism. An economic trade system. Which U.S. Secretary of Defense resigned over a policy difference with the president? Robert S. McNamara, Jim Mattis, or Leon Panetta? That would be Jim Mattis. Which spelling of the following term is correct? Sergeant, sergeant, or sergeant? The correct spelling is number 1. And there it is. Who sang My Generation with the lyrics, Hope I Die Before I Get Old? The Rolling Stones, The Who, or The Beatles? The Who. True or false? The 4 U.S. states, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico, meet at a single point. Is that true or is that false? That's true. What is the duration required for Earth to orbit the Sun? 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year? One rotation is in fact 1 year. Which politician said, I would have loved to have been in a band, but sadly, I just wasn't good enough? Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, or Justin Trudeau? Tony Blair said that. What is the second half of Franklin D. Roosevelt's quote? The only thing we have to fear is the unknown, is fear itself, are the enemies within. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Which award-winning film starred Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and Kathy Bates? Revolutionary Road, Titanic, or Celebrity? That movie was Revolutionary Road. Not a multiple choice. What is a government program in which every adult citizen receives a set amount of money regularly called? Everyone gets a set amount of money is called UBI, Universal Basic Income. What does the Greek word schole mean? Leisure, work, or adventure? Skoli, perhaps. That means leisure. And number 100. What is the slowest bird? The albatross, the American woodcock, or the peregrine falcon? The slowest bird would be the American woodcock. Hey, thanks for playing. Drop your score in the comments, please. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the notification bell, and give us a like. Thanks for playing. We'll see you again on quiz time.